Good evening, you're watching The Buck Stops here and I'm Barkha Dutt. On the program this evening, we're looking at India's land wars. A parliamentary panel is suggesting a dramatic overhaul in the land acquisition bill. But will the new laws be pro-people but anti-industry? That's a big debate coming up tonight. But before that, the defining image of the day. Superstar and IPL league owner Shah Rukh Khan is caught in a Mumbai stadium brawl, a controversy where it's become a he said versus he said. Maharashtra Cricket Association says Shah Rukh came to the Wankhede Stadium drunk and abused officials. But Shah Rukh Khan says while he was angry, he was certainly not drunk and it was the cricket officials who misbehaved and abused him. In fact, Shah Rukh Khan has said that the MCA officials tried to manhandle the little children around, including his daughter. The cricket officials say Shah Rukh is lying and using his children and other children to gain sympathy. As we said in the he said versus he said squabble, Shah Rukh is saying he will not apologize. It's the MCA that was at fault, and the Maharashtra Cricket Association is proposing a life ban on Shah Rukh's entry into the Wankhede Stadium. So never a dull moment in the IPL, with a lot of the action happening off the field. Well, now on to more important news. We're looking at what we're calling India's land wars. There is no doubt that land is the single most contentious political issue in the country today. Whether you look at Nandigram and Shingur or you look at the agitations around POSCO and Vedanta, politicians have become scared to go ahead with projects that require land acquisition. But industry is saying, how do we proceed with bolstering the economy? How do we bring infrastructure if you do not let us acquire land? Now, a parliamentary panel has proposed a dramatic set of changes to the current draft of the land acquisition bill. Sunil Prabhu and Nitranjan Srivastav have the story.
Land has been the most volatile issue in India. In Uttar Pradesh, Rahul Gandhi accused Mayawati of selling out farmers. In West Bengal, land agitations paved Mamata Banerjee's way to power. It remains a political hot potato, and a number of big-ticket projects remain stuck in various parts of the country due to land acquisition issues. India Inc. sees infrastructure as the biggest challenge for the country in times of economic distress, and says land is the primary need for any project, but the political class has failed to come up with a clear-cut policy on land acquisition, which has led to widespread resentment among farmers and tribals. Now the Parliament Standing Committee has proposed radical changes in the land acquisition bill that will replace the archaic 1894 law. Now acquiring land by the government will become difficult if the Parliamentary Committee's recommendations are accepted. Some of the recommendations will have a serious bearing on industry and the government. The House panel has recommended restricting land acquisition by the government to infrastructure and social sector projects only. It says no land acquisition should be allowed for profit enterprises and public-private projects. Even public sector enterprises cannot acquire land for profit ventures. Profit enterprises will have to purchase land in the open market. The panel has recommended making the process of land acquisition panchayat-centric. Consent of Gram Sabhas will be necessary for land acquisition. The food security definition will be expanded to include rain-fed areas, and states will decide on relief and rehabilitation as land is a state subject. Sources in the Rural Development Ministry say that a revised bill, after looking into the recommendations of the committee, will be brought in the monsoon session. The tough recommendations have, of course, impressed UPA ally the Trinamool Congress, which has been at the forefront of land acquisition protests in West Bengal.
Government should not anyhow play the role of the mediator. The farmers and the owner of the land who intends to become will talk themselves and fix up the price of the land.
Though the industry agrees that land should be bought directly, it believes that government interference is needed in certain cases of land acquisition.
Industry should be allowed to purchase the land directly from the landowners, but there could be some pieces of land where there is some difficulty by the industry in acquisition of land, so there may be some assistance required by the government.
Replacing a century-old law was never going to be easy, and the government had faced resistance from several ministers when the new bill was brought before the cabinet last year. Those reservations have grown stronger from within the government and from the opposition, even though both Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi have been in the forefront of wanting this new comprehensive bill. Even the Sonia Gandhi-headed National Advisory Council doesn't agree with completely doing away with the role of government from land acquisition for public-private projects.
I don't think it's a good idea to restrict the power of the state to acquire land even for profit industries, because whenever land use changes from agriculture to either urbanization or industrialization, more jobs are created, and therefore state must facilitate the transfer of land to industry.
Acquiring land and compensating farmers is always going to be a difficult task. And with the stringent recommendations of the Parliamentary Standing Committee, the UPA government knows it's a difficult road ahead in finding that fine balance between the industry and the farmers and ensuring that the manufacturing sector does not get affected. In New Delhi, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.